I'm pleased and thrilled to welcome back to Worldview show Frances Jenkins. Now, she was on the show last year. I'm going to refer to her today as Prisoner 24601, with many apologies to Victor Hugo. She was one of the Balcombe 16 we reported on last year, and she was kind enough to give us an exclusive interview right after her arrest for protesting fracking in the West Sussex community of Balcombe. Now, she's since had her day in court, and before we reveal the result, Frances, welcome back to Worldview.
Hello, thanks for having me again, Dennis. How are you?
Great to have you back here. Now, Frances, take us back to the day of the protests and what actually happened to you on that day.
Well, I was peacefully protesting next to a log when the police came and removed me and 16 other people. So that's basically the crux of it. So I sat next to a log and two battalions of police turned up and just told us we had to move. And if we didn't, we would be in big trouble. So.
Now, I somewhat jokingly refer to you as Jean Valjean, as prisoner 24601 from Victor Hugo fame. He got 5 years for stealing a loaf of bread and then several more years after that because he tried to run. But quite frankly, some of the criminal charges that they were trying to bring against the protesters were almost as bad as that French Revolution sort of justice. And when you and several other members of that Balcombe 16 were there in Crown Court, what was it you actually faced?
Well, the first charge that we were charged with was dropped, but that initial charge was under the Trade Union and Labour Relations Act 1992, I believe. And that's quite obscure legislation, but I believe that the maximum we could have faced for that was 6 months in prison. However, they dropped the charge and they charged us with a lesser charge of obstructing the highway. But the maximum we could have got for that was £1,000 fine. But still, it's still stressful to know that you might have to pay £1,000 and go to court. Personally, I had to travel from Cardiff to Brighton, which is it's a good 5-6 hours at least. So it was quite hard.
Didn't you also have to face, the legal expenses as well, or were those picked up then by the court and others?
Well, no, basically there was because it was an indictable charge. I was able to claim legal aid for help, but from next year, people won't be able to claim legal aid at all. So I was quite lucky in that respect. But essentially, we are going to be refunded our travel to the courts, but we had to finance the travel to the courts and stuff. So we are going to get that back straight away in a couple of days now. So it will be good to have that back because I can put it straight back to Frack-free Wales then.
So, Frances, why has the government cracked down so hard on protesters like yourself and others?
Well, I'm not sure, really. I mean, we have a right to protest under the European Court of Human Rights, Article 10 and 11. However, and that's how we were found not guilty, I believe, because the Judge William Ashworth was very meticulous and was very aware of the statute that he had to go by. So it's lucky it was there, but I do know that the Conservative Party do want to withdraw from the Human Rights Act, and much of the right-wing press print articles about human rights madness when they're usually referring to immigrants and what they're Islamic terrorists and things like that. But the Human Rights Act, it's there to help everybody, not just the maybe so-called evil fringes of society. It's there to help ordinary citizens when they need it.
Now, you've mentioned that you were indeed found not guilty, so spoiler alert, we now know that. Tell us a little bit about how the trial happened and all of the people that were involved.
Well, I was one of 11 people on trial, although one didn't show. Yes, it was quite a packed courtroom. There was like 8 of us in the dock, and then the remainder of us sat behind our barristers. We had 3 barristers. The public gallery was full every single day. And there was obviously a prosecutor and his team behind him. And the judge, it was a busy room. It was very warm in there. And obviously it was quite challenging to listen to it all. It was all in legalese. So, yes, and it lasted for 3 days. So it was tough. It was tough on everybody, I think. So.
Now, I did see somebody attempt to interview you during, I think it was the recess for lunch on the second day, and you did look a little bit frazzled at that point. When was it that you knew that this judge was going to rule in your favor? Did you get any clues along the way, or did it just happen at the end of the day?
Well, others that are more experienced in these matters said, "No, it's going well. No, it's going well." But I really didn't think so, and I didn't. No, I didn't know until the very last second, because he was quite an amusing judge. Actually, he was, very clear and articulate, but he liked to take his time with the verdict. He sort of teased us with it. So right up until the end, he said, "Yep, it's clear. But I have to acquit you all." He left it right until that last minute for me, and then it was like, wow, we've been acquitted. It's amazing. It's a good thing that happened. At least we've got the judiciary on our side. That's how I feel.
Well, and that you have the judiciary on your side as well as European Union law. Talk a little bit about the points of law that were made in terms of why he had to set you free.
Well, it's under Article 10 and 11 of the Human Rights Act. But what they do is they go back and they look through case law. So they go back and they say, well, this happened in this case. So I think there was a lot of mention of Hearst 1984. I think that was something to do with some bypass. And then they'll go back to another case you just lose track of it all eventually because they have to examine the case law. But essentially, he took into account the fact that we all thought that the road was closed, because we did. There was road closed signs, and everybody was playing in the road, the children. I mean, and it was, but apparently it was partially open. So that way we could still be prosecuted underneath the obstructing the highway thing. But it looks like that our right to protest was a reasonable use of the highway. And under the 10 and 11, he found in our favour, which I think was the right decision, obviously.
Well, you mentioned the children, and speaking of children, you have small children yourself, so your protest had real consequences. Why did you choose to protest at that particular point in time, and you continue to so do?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I am taking a step back from Free Wales at the moment, because I do really feel that it's interfering with, my other commitments, for example, my kids, but also my university degree. But I'm obviously still completely against fracking. I will speak out and stuff, but there's no way that I'm putting myself on the front line like that again, because it has put me off. I'm supposed to say, no, it hasn't put me off and stuff, but it really has. The treatment that we received was, I felt, it's sort of a David and Goliath thing. And I don't want to go through that again. I really do call on people to really examine what happened at that protest and other protests. Look at kettling and things like that. It's not really very fair. All we're doing is trying to raise awareness of issues that will affect the general public, and we're being clamped down on very, very harshly. And I just think that, it's time for everybody to take a step back and look. Let's all talk about these issues. Let's talk with the politicians. Let's sort this out before it gets even nastier than it's already got. So, and especially when you look at what's happening in Balcombe, we've got a grandmother who's been arrested twice. She's determined that she's going to get this in this proper debate, a proper public consultation, so she's been arrested twice. And good on her, she's tougher than I am. So,
well, at 82, that's we're speaking of a protester in Barton Moss who has been kettled and arrested, and I believe in some other protests she's been pepper sprayed and other things. So she's really been through the battles in terms of protest.
Trying to record a version of Anarchy in the UK called Nanarchy in the UK, and it's about her. So we're going to be rehearsing this week now, a group of us in Wales. So.
Brilliant. Well, this is very kind of you to join us here today. What are you going to do with your freedom? Where are you going to go from here, and how do you plan to keep this movement alive that you've obviously played such a huge role in?
Well, I'm probably just going to sit back a little bit and take more of an advisory role. Obviously, my degree is in media, so I can produce media materials and things. And I'll still be there, but my university degree's got to come first now because my assignments are late this term already. But they're being very, very understanding about it as well as university. So, but I've got to put that first now.
Well, you're actually, living the media and journalism in action here. So, congratulations to you for the result and for everything moving forward. And thanks again for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for the support, Dennis. Cheers. Take care.
You too. Now you can reach Frances on Facebook via the Facebook group Frack Free Wales. We'll be back after this. You're watching Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Stay right here.